We are going to start today's session. The speaker is Kyung. He is a programmer and now he's also a candidate for Tainan Parliament. Oh, talking about Tainan, it's a great place to visit in Taiwan. If you have time, you can visit Taiwan. You can visit Tainan. You must go. There are lots of food, delicious food, and historical sites there. And Kyung will introduce himself later, so I'm not speak more right now. Okay, let's welcome Kyung. He will share his story with us.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Okay, so today I just want to share the topic about Taiwan Bribes Map. And for many people maybe already know, it's just a map site. And today I just tell you the story behind this project. So, sorry, I can't click. So, anyway, sorry. Okay, I just at first I just want to introduce myself. I'm Kiam. My Chinese name is Zhang Minzhong. The Kiam just means the last name Zhang. So if you find me on the internet, you could just call me Kiam. And sorry, next page. Okay, I joined the GovZero for many years. So we usually could call ourselves the GovZero year, and maybe just a guy in the GovZero. And also next, I'm also a web developer for many years, and I use PHP, JavaScript, and maybe some other programming language. So next. And also, Rock has mentioned that I'm a political worker and election candidate. So later I will introduce myself to you. And next. And also I am dad of 2 kids. Just maybe that's why I care about the political environment in Taiwan. Just because I'm a dad, I care about the future of my children. So I just try to care the topics, and maybe I just try to become the election candidate. I want to improve the environment in Taiwan. Next. Okay, today I want to show you the Taiwan Bribes Map. Next, I want to introduce some of the features of the Taiwan Bribes Map. Next. Okay. If you enter the map, you can find many triangles in the Taiwan map. Each red triangle represents a bribery and the place where it takes place. And above the triangle, you can find a label. It shows the political candidate's name and the price he or maybe the workers around him to pay. Maybe you can find that each vote about $500, $1,000. It's in New Taiwan dollars. And in Taiwan, there's an unofficial standard. What we call about a bribery is just you pay maybe election candidate or maybe the workers around him to pay the president, give the president or pay the money for the price above 30 New Taiwan dollars. 30 New Taiwan dollars is about $1 US. If you give the president for with with its price above 30 Taiwan dollars, and it just can violate the law and be defined as a bribery. So, but in most cases, we can find in the budget it's much more than the $30. You can find that maybe each triangle, the label of each triangle showing that maybe 2,000 and maybe 1,000, maybe $500. But and also it may be some present for price with the price above $30, maybe clothes or maybe some other present valuable present. Okay, next. Okay, you can find where the election bribery took place. Okay, next. And also, if you open the map, it will try to locate you, where the position of you, and from maybe your mobile phone, maybe your computer for your nearby place. So you can easily to find the nearby cases, and just you can find a blue point in the map. It represents the position provided from your device. Okay, next. Based on your GPS, okay. And also, if you click the specific triangle, you can get the details about the bribery case. So if you want to know more, you can just click more triangles, and it's easy. It's very easy, and you can easily find the cases around you. Okay, next. And also, everything you can find in the map is open source. So you can review every line of code I made to make sure if I put some tricky, maybe some error inside it. Also, if you want to have maybe this map in your country, you just try to change the data source. You can make another data set for it, and as it's open source, you can just extend it to as you need. Yeah. Okay, next. And I want to tell you the story why I made this map. Next. Okay, next. And at first, the guy in the BBS, we call it PTT, and it just tells everybody that he made the maps for the briberies cases. And at first, it just used PTT to say, and next. This is the first version of the Bribes Map, and he made this map using Google My Maps. It's a easy service. Everybody could use My Map service to create your custom map, but it's limited. So with its limited features, so the first guy, just try to make many maps for each county. So each county, maybe in Tainan, it has a map, and for Jai, it has another map. So you must review every county, every city in different maps. And what I made at first, just try to merge all the maps. So next. This is the first version of the Bribes Map, and you can find that it's also use the Google Maps API, and it just doing a simple thing, just merge all the maps in. You can review every case in all the counties, in all the cities, and don't have to switch right and back. Okay, next. And as you may already know, that Google began to request the money to use the Google Maps API. So I try to update all the maps using the other free resources. It's very lucky that in Taiwan, our government provides the map service. You can find the underlying map images. It's a service from our government, so I can use it for free. And with the map, and you can easily identify each case where the case happened. So maybe in Europe, in other countries, it's not easy to find a free service. So I say we are lucky. We have the free service from our government to have this map service. Okay, next. Okay, besides the maps, I also try many other ways to improve the data, maybe improve the maps. At first, because as I mentioned before, all the cases, the data we find just from our government, it's just a website. You can only search the data in the website, and you don't have other data source to use, and it's not easy to, just because each case you must try to search the specific keyword and extract the data. Maybe just use copy and paste the data into maybe text pad and just save the data. It's not easy. So first, we just I and with some people in the Gap Zero, we try to have write a crawler just because just a program that I can execute to help me to download the data from specific website. So it's about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. So we just try to back up the whole website. It takes many days to finish the job, and also we just can make sure if the data is correct, just because we can't monitor every crawler if it works or not. So the crawler is great. It can help us to automatically download the data, but we just can't make sure if the data is correct, or maybe it has some error happen between the drafts. Okay, next. And also another lucky day, just because after many requests from the people, maybe in other purpose, and our government start to make all the data, all the verdicts and the settlements in open data. And with the open data, we just we can just use the data and don't have to taking care of if it's correct or not, because the data just come just from our government, and it's more clean than the data we collect using crawlers. So as it's become the open data, we just have we just can try in many ways to extract the data we need in following days. Okay, next. Okay, I also created another website to collect the data, the election data for each year. I have almost all the candidates' data from our government and put it all in the website. So I try to extract the names from my website and use the name to filter the verdict data and to find if this guy has some verdict case or maybe the target briberies I want to find. But it has so many problems just because in Taiwan it's easy to find many people using the same names. If I just can't make sure if the verdict case is talking about specific people, and it's risky just because if I can make sure and I just publish it's a briberies from specific guy, and it may shoot me into the judge law just because it's about his reputation, and I just put it in wrong data, so it's not easy to publish the data. Just next. Okay, I just try another way, just because what we called about briberies, just because it violates some specific laws. So I just try to use the laws to filter the data, and it works. Almost every case I can find, I can decrease the targets to find, but it's still lots of data. So even if I have the filtered data, I still need many people to help me to extract the structured data from each verdict. So next. Another guy in Gov 0 called Howard, he just helped me create a user interface to do the crowdsourcing. So just like the imagery you can find, in the left-hand side, you can find the details about the verdict, and just there are so many tags inside. And in the right side, you can find a form I needed. So the data, the fields I needed for the bribery map. So you can just use this form to fill the data, maybe copy and paste the required field, the text from left to right, and just submit the form. And I can collect the data to update the bribery map. But okay, next. But it's really not fun, just because it requires maybe the time, the experience to extract the data, and it's unstructured. Each verdict just like a story. You must try to find the political candidate, the name, the price, and where the bribery happened. it is in all different types of text to provide the information. So it must read all the story, all the article, and it's just takes much time. So only limited people can help. Okay, next. And the biggest problem is that the target group we just can reach. What we call the target group is that people in Taiwan who accept the bribery. They usually in old age, and the old guys just don't like use the computer or maybe even the smartphone. So if even if I make this map, they just don't know where it is, or they just don't like to use it. So that's the problem. Just because I made a bribe map to, I just want to decrease the bribes happen. But the target people who accept the bribery, just bribes, just don't use the tools. So after some tries, I just give out to update the data, continue to update the data, just because it just can't work. It's fun to find a bribes case in a map, and it's easy to compare the price they pay for each vote, but it just can't decrease the bribes in real world. So that's why it's slow down the progress in updating the data. Okay, so next. Okay, conclusion. Okay, just when we talk about the civic tech or maybe the technology, it's really cool, and many people just feel it's amazing that I could put all the data in the map, or maybe in other fashion way. It's eye candy, but just okay. Next. But bribery is about the structural issue in our society, and as I say, it's a structural issue. It just can't stand outside the structure and ask the structure to change. It's just not easy. We know, we all know the correct way for the election, but it's just hard if you tell the people to change outside the structure. So let's okay, next. Okay, we just need more young people. As I mentioned before, most the people who accept the bribery, that they usually in the old age. So we just need more young people to enter the political area in Taiwan. So we just need you, maybe young people, young guys, to participate in the political election in Taiwan. Next. But exactly say just nobody wants, because in our culture and in Taiwan, many people are taught that the police is dirty, or maybe the political candidate is just can't change. It's just that way. It's just how it look like. the bribery is normal, is still normal in the old guys. They just think it's not a big problem. But for us, for young people in Taiwan, we really don't think it's a good idea to keep the briberies happen in Taiwan. So we just need more people to join. Okay, next. Okay, if I say nobody and next, I just want to say I'm the nobody. That's the spirit behind the Gap Zero. Just Gap Zero have the slogan that saying that if you find nobody doing that, you are the nobody. You can do that. Okay, so as the slogan says, I just think maybe I can do something. I just find a problem, and I think there should be someone to fix the problem. And I just find I can push other people to do it. So I just try to become the election candidate. This year I've been elected from our party. Say that I'm officially a candidate recommended by our party, and I will join the election campaign this year. And the purpose, just like I mentioned before, I am a dad of 2 kids, and I hope the political environment and the whole Taiwan environment can be changed. And I find maybe I have to change it by myself. So I just joined the political campaign and hope I can get a chance to change the world. Yeah, maybe change the world, change the environment in Taiwan. Okay, that's all about the Bribes Map and the story behind. And maybe any question from you?
Okay, thank you, Kyung. So, guys, if you have any question, please turn on your microphone and directly ask, or you can type in the chat room. So, if you don't know what is GOV0V or crawler, you can check it in the chat room. Is there any questions?
Hi, I'm Terence from Sri Lanka. Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Hi. It's interesting to see the platform, and I'm really sorry I joined a bit late, but just wanted to share some of the experience from Sri Lanka as well. So I'm working with Transparency International, and we have a similar website that we operate. It's called apesali.lk, which means our money. And to be honest with you, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you said that this platform only tracks bribery, right? Is it only election time bribery, or like real time, like it can be used even outside election?
Yeah, this true. It just because I only focus on the election bribery. So it's easy for anyone knowing the technology behind it to change the data source or maybe change the purpose. And also, as I mentioned, it's open source. You can just modify the program as you need. You can change maybe. I have so many projects in its main base. I just change the underlying data, and it just have another meaning, maybe about max map, or maybe some COVID-19 confirmed case map. It just try to change the underlying data. Yeah.
Right. I think it's something similar to the Ushahidi platform that we used a few years back, and we kind of tried to make a bit of a similar one, but not open source platform. But one thing that I'm interested in asking you, Kyang, that because even one of the main challenge that we face even in operating our platform is how do we like ensure the data is accurate, because we can't just publish. Say for an example, someone says that this person paid a bribe, right? And then we can't just go ahead and publish it in our platform just because there's a claim, right? Because there's a issue there can be like defamatory cases against us. So could you like enlighten us on like what are the thresholds that you look at like before you publishing any data?
Just in open source, we just try to release it as often as possible. So we don't have a strict process to make sure the data is correct. Just like I said, I just get the data from our government, and with the data, I just try to link additional data, maybe about the candidate's name, or maybe the price, the place, and we just don't put much time in confirming the data. We just think maybe just because the data is coming from our government, we just trust it. So I am not sure if one day the data is incorrect, what will happen? It just because there are not so many people use it to maybe in other purpose. So there are no so many people knowing this map. So it just not happened yet. Yeah. Okay. And so I just try to answer another question from Rock. Is there any candidate asks you to shut down the Bribes Map website earlier or still? And the bribery case is not all will be in the jail. They just maybe violate the law and they will be cancel the election result. So they just lose the position as a politician. So but currently there are not so many people care about the data in this map, just because as I mentioned, not so many people using it. So it don't have so many power for the old guys. And I hope one day maybe people really care about it and just can change the environment. Yeah. Okay, next. So how do you ensure the protection of data, ensure the correct accuracy of data? And it's not, I just open source, and maybe you think it's possible for other people to hack the data and just try to change the name, or maybe put the link in the wrong way. Yeah, it's possible, but I just open source all the details, all the data, all the program, all the every line of code. You can review it from GitHub, and it's all the data is hosted also in the GitHub. I just put every change in lines. You can review it. That's also the way I just make sure, okay, the data is still incorrect. Yeah, still correct. Yeah. Okay. Most data being rescued by the government. Yeah. Yeah, just because the data, all the data in the Bribes Map is provided from our government. It's confounded with their case. So just that it's not collected from the only people input. It just we if we receive the submission and we just make sure it's from the specific verdict. So I just try to review if it's. In fact, I just don't put so much time to review it just because there are not so many people try to contribute other cases. And most cases in the map is provided by the first guy. First guy I mentioned it's just published in the PTD, and it provides the data about the details of the verdict. So I can make sure just try to input the keywords in our government website and to make sure it's correct. That's just a simple process to make sure the data is correct. Yeah. Okay. Okay. In Taiwan, 2022 is also a campaign period. Yeah, in Taiwan. So I joined as a candidate this year. That just because most of the data about the candidate, myself, is in Chinese. I'm not sure if you are interested in the campaign I'm running. Maybe you can improve my Chinese name. In Facebook, it's easy to find, but most of the information is in Chinese.
Hi, Kiang, we have a question here.
Okay.
So we're wondering, since you're a candidate, apart from this map, what other tools or systems do you think are necessary to try to oversee elections and make sure that elections are run fairly?
In Taiwan, okay, I just as I mentioned in the slide, I have another website to collect the candidates' data. It's also from our government, and maybe you can find the information inside the website, but it's still limited, just because not easy to collect and confirm all the data about each candidate. There are too many candidates. What was the impact of the primary project to the candidate no matter post? I think this project is still, it just maybe have some news mention this website, but it just have no expected impact. Just as I said, I just want to use this map to make people knowing that bribery is not a good thing, and I hope we can decrease the bribes happen. But in fact, it's not. I just can't make it happen just by making a map. It has a lot of things to do, and I just one guy, and I don't have so many resources to push the world just by the information. So I just try to join the election campaign and hope that I can get more resources, more power, and to change the environment, the political environment in Taiwan. Yeah. Okay, about the structured data, just because, just like if you are, you have experience in using the Excel, Microsoft Excel, or maybe some other spreadsheet program, you may find that each field, maybe the name, the birthday, the gender, that just each field has one specific data, and we just call it structured data. But if we call what we call about unstructured data, just like a story like, okay, I just tell you a story. I am 42 years old. I was born, and with many description and maybe other tags I don't need. I just need to know. Oh, yeah, this guy is 42 years old, but I don't need other tags. So if we want to make the map or make other programs, we just need a structured data, and we just put every only needed data in specific field, and for all the fields collected from the people, and every case is in the same fields. Yeah, and that's called structured data. With the structured data, we can make a program about a Bribes Map, or maybe other program, or maybe other things could be done automatically by the programming language. Yeah. What countries?
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
There's a question from Tony Gilmer. He's raising his hand.
Okay. I just don't know how to how to accept the question.
Tony, do you want to ask questions?
Tony, you can just turn on your mic and just ask to come directly.
Okay, Tony Gilmer maybe made the same problem. It can open its microphone.
Or he pushed wrong button.
I'm not sure. And for the waitress question, for countries with no civic hacking community like GovZero, how can we build digital project like this? In fact, GovZero, I think GovZero is is not, it's just a community. It doesn't mean that if you don't have the community and you can still make any project you like, just because the internet is connected all around the world. If you created a project, you just publish it in the internet, and if other people interested, they just can try to join you, and it just becomes another community in your country. Just like what we said before, if you find nobody doing it, and you just can't be that the nobody, and you find a problem, you think something need to be solved, and you just try to solve it by yourself. But after that, maybe you can find more people want to help. Okay, here is question from, we just finished with 22 local use, and we can say that there are no difference between the groups. The issue, if we want to know if significant information. Okay, about misinformation, maybe that's in another project in GovZero, we call it COFAS. You can find many public videos, public information about the COFAS project, and they did a great job to fight with the misinformation. But it requires many people to help, so you just need a platform. And maybe COFAS is also an open source project, so if you want to use the COFAS in your country, you can just try to know the technology behind the COFAS project and just try to clone it in your country for your country's information. And maybe it just can be extended in your country with the features you need.
Yeah, 还在等。
那感觉讲到一半。Hi, this is Lulu from OCF. Actually, I have a question for participants, because I think Kyung is a very great example that he trying to solve the problem and work with the community. Then he willing to put the food into politics. So I just wondering, like in your country or in your communities, is there any cases such as Kyung that they are working in the local community or a civil society organization before, but then willing to become a candidate for election? So I think that's my question. I want to know what's your situation or experience in your country and communities. But I think in a sense it's a question for all the participants, so you probably can think what you are willing to sharing and what you can say, and to welcome typing or also open a microphone. Yeah, I think there is time, various timing. That's great. Yes, since Kyung mentioned the COFAS, which is a great what is that? Fact checking, no, communication robot. And since it's open source, as what I know, that a group in Thailand also use the open source to build the same and similar fact checking robot. So I think this kind of open source project is one valuable thing is it is shareable. So if COFAC can be built here, and they share all the methodology and all the coding, so it will be easier for the other group in other countries can like copy what they are doing and develop a localization version. So as what we know, since disinformation is a huge topic in all the different areas, so if we can share those experience and help each other, I think it would be very helpful.
Yeah, just that's what the spirit behind the open source. So open source, every project in the open source community, you can try to just clone it and modify the code needed for your need. So that's why we make it open source. We just try to solve our problem in the area we made, in the problem we made, and we just open it to public. And you can just clone it, extend it, or maybe just put it in your country, try to fix the same problem. But I think it's not possible to just, you can just put it in another website, and it just not can work if you just copy. You must try to know the problem and you meet, and you find a tool from us or maybe from other open source community, and try to maintain it for your country, for your local community, and maybe it can work like, yeah. So I'm not familiar with the interface about this BBB program. So I just don't, I use another device to give the talk, but I just can't type in my computer. So if you have any question, you can just type, or maybe just open your microphone and we can talk, or maybe we just answer your problem in the chat room.
So hi, Kyung, maybe since I think there's a lot of groups in this program, it's very interesting about election, because election is really important to have a lot of impacts on society. So do you have any tips, like what will be your election strategy for this year?
I'm not sure, I have some ideas new, maybe because I can writing some programs, maybe have another map showing the information. That's the difference I can do compared to other candidates. But the problem is Tainan is still a traditional area. So it's not easy just have the technology inside. You must do something in traditional way. So I still have to maybe walk inside the streets and tell everybody what I want to do, and maybe just ask them to vote, give the vote to me, and hope everything we can change it together. Yeah. Yeah. it's still hard to push young people entering the political area, just because most people just don't care about the problem found in the political area. So they can complain that the traffic is bad. They can complain the error is become worse and worse, but they just don't want to know the details, and they just don't know that if they just don't join the political, they don't care about the political issue, and the problem they complain won't be fixed. So that's the problem. So I have no idea why people in Taiwan just don't try to solve problem by ourselves. And most people in Taiwan, they just want to have one guy to solve all the problems they meet. So they just give more and more complaints, but nobody want to getting into the core of the problem.
Okay, so is there any questions? Because we're left about 1 minute here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was late because I had another agenda. My name is Almas from Indonesia. I just want to ask how this system will follow up on the findings or reports. I mean, in the Taiwan Bribery Map. Is it, for example, integrated with the electoral supervisory body's complaint system or another law enforcement agencies or what? Sorry if you already explained about that.
So it's not from any official maybe. I just want to showing the data in the map, and I just try to do it. There's no official study or maybe official research about it. It just collect the data from the people in the internet, and we just put all the data together inside the map and hope that more people could easily find a case and talk about a case. But it's not happened just because there's some news mentioned about this website, but it just between maybe several days, and after that people just forget about this issue. And it's also the bribery still happen in Taiwan in our local area. So I hope this could answer your question.
Okay, we have our last question from Tony Gilman.
This one biggest. Okay, I just read it. Biggest and ongoing issue affairs people accept cash money and give their vote to those candidates who give them the money. Those candidates are the most corrupt, but using money power to influence people in corrupt dealing to gain the power of police. My question is how we address such issue to the general public in my country to reduce such practice, or ways we can do to address the general public as the young aspiring future politician. Well, I'm not sure, just because in fact in open source community you can find that we just focus on the problems we really meet, and we try to discover the tools or maybe try to make the tools we think we can solve the problem. We just open source it, and it's just for the problem we meet in Taiwan. And we hope the tool could also help you. But if you want to use the tool, you just have to collect the same data, and maybe you have to know the technology behind this tool. And I'm not sure, just like I said, in Taiwan, we make the tool and we just find the tool can work. It can change the political environment. People, old guys still accept the bribery. So we just try another way. Just I join the election campaign. I hope I can get a power without a bribery, and I hope I can change the culture or maybe the political environment in Taiwan. So maybe in your country, I think you must study why it happened, and if the government provides similar data, and you can extract the data with needed fields for the map, and maybe showing it all on the map, and maybe you will meet the same problem as I met. You just make a map, but it just can't change the problem you meet. Yeah, so I hope the data have such power, but it just cannot be solved by only the data or maybe a map. It just requires more and more people care about the problem. So I just have to join the election campaign, and we just tell the data. You just can tell the people. You just can give the vote to the people who accept, who provide the bribery. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Kiang. So, there's another question. Desmond, do you want to speak?
Yes, thank you. Just heading on to, I see that the session is on transparency and open tech. So last week we had a session, the previous session was on openness, open data. So being open, like it really captures well the democratic aspect of a political system or government. So I see that. So, and then the open tech platform or the open tech approach is very effective, in which, like in the Indo-Pacific, like we have other countries as well too. So like what works for Taiwan, it is somewhat second. First of all, like for country like Papua New Guinea, our population is it's a rural population where most of our people, not most of all of our people, like live in the rural communities. So second of all, like technology or having access to internet and having access to tech is something that we are tapping into that space. So like it is a huge challenge for us. So when we talk about like bribery and corruption, this like I saw Tony mentioned it earlier. So it's happening. It has been going on, and then we are into the election period now, and the bribery is ongoing. So like it is a norm, given that we have Papua New Guinea is a very diverse country, as you all may be aware of. So we have different cultures, different ways of thinking, talking, moving around, doing things. So it is a real challenge for us here. So with the open tech, like how can this be a platform that can be translated or it can be made available for our other Indo-Pacific countries to have access to, and they can like make use of it to, address those bribery issues, corruption issues, or to fight against corruption. So we are seeing these issues happening, and then we are looking for means and ways to have that. we do have CSOs and INGOs stepping into this space to address this corruption and bribery that's going on. But at the moment, like in PNC, we do not have a CSO policy, CSO government policy as yet. So we are still all working in this space to have this issue been raised through the Open Government Partnership Initiative, PNC LGP. So once we have the CSO policy, it will help us to have such platforms be very effective in countries. So with that being said, how can this open tech, like what's really useful in Taiwan, can be made like or translated, be adapted to by other countries in the Indo-Pacific, so we can work like collaboratively to address like issues like bribery and other anti-corruption issues. So how can we can this be a platform that can be adapted by others as well, not in terms of open tech but other methods as well too? Thank you.
I must say that the technology behind this Bribes Map is really easy part of this problem. Just because you can't expect to have a tool that just made every problem be solved. So besides this map, there's still lots of things you have to do to push maybe your government or maybe your society, your community to change their habit, change their culture. So if you have any question about the technology part, maybe it's easy to find people to help you, or maybe even if you have the data, I can have another map for you, your country. But the problem is not just about the technology. It's just about the culture. It's just about your community's habit. So it takes much time to getting into inside the problem. And I hope one day we can see that all the bribes, all the corruption gone in the world, but it's just a dream. So you must try to solve the smaller problem first. Yeah, that's why I'm doing in Taiwan. Okay, I'm not sure if I answer your question, but if you have any other question, you can just contact me through maybe I think the host OCF could provide you the contact information about me, and you can just send more details about your question or maybe your request about this map, and I hope I can answer or maybe have you solve the problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, so that will be our today's session. Thanks all for participating and thanks for Kian's sharing. Don't forget to fill our questionnaire of today's session. It's in a share note and the chat room.